Oh, hello everybody. It's not what it looks like. That's not Virtual Daggerwin's pillow. Well, maybe it is, but he'll still sleep well. Welcome back to Survival Challenge. So today we're going to start off by harvesting this canola field over here, but I also do have many other jobs to do as well. As you can see, this has all been harvested. Field number 2 has all been harvested, so we do need to get crops back in the ground just in case I continue with the series once 22 is released, because I just don't know. I just don't know what the schedule is going to be like. We will see. It just depends, because there's going to be a few maps to go at. Obviously, there's at least 3 to start with. I don't know which mods are going to be released immediately. Obviously, the first week of the release, I'm just going to be doing FS22 flat out. So, if we do return to this, it's going to be in a few weeks. But yes, the other thing I need to do is to sell the John Deere. It's not needed anymore. Been meaning to park this back around here again. So yes, we need to go and get the trailer, so we can just unload straight into it. There we go. The 1250 is going to be our main tractor along with the fence. And yes, I am going to keep the small Massey Ferguson, which I was just in just then, because it's just not really worth selling. It makes sense to keep it. So once I've got the trailer at the side, I'm going to harvest the whole lot in one go. No point spreading it out over the whole episode. Get it out of the way, and then I will have to do some cultivation in that field as well. There's plenty of cultivation work to do. I do need to get a bigger cultivator, ideally. Today might be the day. But also a bigger sprayer. Yes, I'm going to probably get the 185 custom-made sprayer by EY Modding, potentially called iModding, I'm not too sure, but EY Modding created. I'll just show you it very quickly. This fantastic looking contraption here, and it will give us an extra 5 meters working width on the sprayer. So if we buy it used, £40,000, that's not bad. Sell the John Deere, sell the old sprayer, and possibly a few other things as well. So if I put this here, it's going to be ready for when we're full. If we're full, we might not be full before the end, but that doesn't matter. Still seems better than taking the whole combine to the silo. So yes, we are ready to go. There's nothing else to do. It's all unfolded, so let the harvesting commence. Brilliant. And we can do up to 10 miles per hour. I think 10 in time lapses, maybe 8 or 9 in real time. And yes, it should be yielding pretty well. So I guess the big question is, do I drill this whole field as one crop again, or do we stick with the 3 crops, or maybe even 2 crops? Split it 50-50. This has definitely felt more manageable. I think it's been more enjoyable, because when it's just one massive crop, one massive field, you sort of feel obliged to do the whole thing in one go, and it kind of drags on. Doing it this way, it doesn't feel like a big job. It's really good. But yeah, I'm definitely up for doing 50-50. We could do 50-50. I can't remember if I already had this combine when I created the idea of doing it in thirds. But if we were on the old combine, that would be a very good reason why I went for 3s instead of 2s. So yeah, anyway, let's crack on and let's get this harvest completed. Already 19% full. A nice, fast, easy harvest, and we have managed to get almost a full combine tank out of it, which I think for this tiny area is pretty impressive, considering it's canola. So, yep, definitely good. But this field does need to be cultivated. Well, it actually needs to be ploughed, so that we can get an even bigger bonus next time. I'm not too sure about field number 2, I think it does as well. Yeah, everything needs to be... oh, it needs lime as well. Lime requirement has been switched off, but I think you do still have to do it the first time. so that you can actually benefit from that feature. So yeah, turn it off, put the auger out, put it into the trailer, it will all fit, and we can go and take it down to the port, ready for taking on another occasion. I think for number 2 is going to be Canola. Which actually means if we did have a big weeder, we could put Canola in with that. But since everything has to be ploughed, or in this case subsoiled, yes, there's going to be a bit of a job going on there for the fence. And yeah, it's the end of harvest, so we can put the combine away. No point keeping it in the field, cluttering things up. I always think they look like berries. They're very large seeds, much bigger than what I know in real life. Yeah, like blackcurrants or something. Delicious. Right. Yes, I have no idea what it... Actually, no, I kind of have an idea what it would taste like to grab a handful of canola or oilseed rape and eat it. It probably just tastes very... Well, I know the smell. I'm guessing it tastes the same as what it smells like. It's actually quite a hard smell to describe, but I'm sure many of you have already smelled it anyway, so... well, obviously it's oily. Like a vegetation-y, oily smell. Right, anyway, enough of eating canola. Pop this over here. There we go. Oh, by the way, I've done 48 hours on this series so far. We finished Series 1 with 130 hours. That's real hours. So, we're a little way behind. Okay, so yeah, we can go this way. Drop down the cliff face. Go and tip it in the silo. Or in the pit. I think it can stay in here until we either get an extremely good price or until we've harvested another field. I don't really want to be spending all the time travelling to a sell point in either the boat or the tractor. The boat sell points always seem to be the best anyway, so we can't get to those sell points with the tractor. It's just best to fill it, get loads into the boat. So ideally when we've harvested for number 2. And I do tend to park this in here. In response to anybody who says buying the sprayer is a waste of money, my honest reaction to that would be, yes, there is definitely some sense in keeping this one. However, I also played this game to experience the different mods. This just looks fantastic, and I wouldn't want to let it pass me by. I want to use it. So, yeah, it's definitely not. It doesn't make 100% financial sense, but it's not all about that for me. I do this for fun. I want to see these different mods, and yeah, I do like to break away a little bit from the 100% challenge aspect. It's like 99%. Anyway, let's just drop this off here. And the front loader isn't actually required, but I think if I just take the pallet fork off, that will make it look a bit better for doing the subsoiling. I'm going to subsoil for number 2. For number 1 is going to take ages. Well, for number 2 is going to take a bit of time as well, actually. Anyway, I've got it on the back, I've taken the pallet fork off, and there is still a weight. There is a weight in the field. So, again, I've been told before that if you put this on back to front, you can use it at a much faster speed, because it doesn't take as much power. But that is really cheating, so I'm not going to go with that idea. But thank you to everybody who has recommended it, because it obviously works. It does work. Even removing the speed limiter is not going to make a big difference today, because this is the maximum speed the tractor can pull it at. It is pushing it to its limits. Pretty sure I have the limiter off. Yep. So, we're just going to have to keep it going like this. I can't use a worker. This is the only series where I can't use a worker. It's a little bit confusing. You kind of feel like there shouldn't be a worker allowed in vintage survival, but that's not true. I can have a worker. Because of course the idea behind that series is to use vintage machinery. The idea behind this series is for it to be as challenging as possible. Which it is, I hope. Which is why I think really we are doing pretty well. But it has been, how many episodes? 30? Let me try and guess. Is it episode 38? I'm probably one off. Anyway, yeah. Potentially episode 38. Maybe 39, maybe 37. Right, okay. I'm going to continue like this. Just make sure it is actually working. It is, yeah, it's removing the requirement of needing ploughing. So that's good. But it's going to take a bit of time. Well, it's taken a while, but we're almost there. We've got a few logs lurking, which really need to go over to the sell point, well, to the sawmill. It's just a case of finding enough wood to make it worthwhile. I think we do have a few trees dotted around which possibly could be taken down. I don't like taking trees down, especially as we've cleared the fields already. Or we could just make one dedicated trip just for these ones. There's a few, there's about 4. Nothing substantial. And yeah, I've got the weight on the front. Just put this over here. Yeah, having some more weight on the front does seem to be helping with the traction. Along with diff lock, makes a big difference. I was told that, well, I had a few comments saying that when it goes red, in the bottom right hand corner, the symbol, that is diff lock off. But yeah, I've done a few tests and that is definitely diff lock on, because when you switch it off and it goes green, you can see the 2 rear wheels spinning independently. And of course diff lock is where it locks the wheels together, locks the differential, and they'll turn at the same speed at the same time. If I remove it now, you can see it's not synchronized, and also we are noticeably slipping. And then lock the diff again, and there you go. So yeah, definitely red is diff lock on. But isn't that looking better? So much neater. Now I'm going to take a very unusual approach. I'm going to spray the field before I drill. It is going to be liquid fertilizer, not a herbicide. But yeah, you could just say that we're just spraying after the previous harvest. Spraying off, I don't know, volunteer. What was in here? Wheat? I don't know. And of course any weeds which have germinated. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Going to spray it like this, because that way I get to spray it straight after drilling, and then it's done. No more worrying. Of course we will have to do the weeds, but no more worrying about fertilizer, which will be very nice. Okay, that's enough subsoiling for one day. We've done the whole of field number 2. Now it is time to go and see this fantastic looking 185. Oh, and by the way, it is actually a total coincidence that we're getting left with Massey Fergusons. I'm not trying to just sell the other brands, in this case John Deere, but this tractor is not needed anymore. It just happens to be a John Deere. Arguably this one isn't needed either, but I don't know what kind of money we can make for it. I don't think it's worthwhile. Oh, it's actually a bit more than I thought. almost 5,000, that's 6,000, so actually plus more if we take it to the workshop. Well, that's the big question. I'm going to sell the John Deere. A question to everybody: shall we sell the 230, or should it stay here as it was our first tractor? And of course this has a front loader, so we can sell the front loader as well. But yeah, let's buy the sprayer. We'll take our existing sprayer, pop it into the workshop, make sure it's all repaired and sell it for as much money as possible. The same with the John Deere, get it into the workshop and maximise the income. It won't be profit, definitely won't be profit, but the more we can make the better. We should actually have something in here already, which I must empty. Herbicide, which has gone somewhere. Oh, crikey. Well, we should be able to pump it from there. And then into here. But it would be nice to have an extra 5 metres working with. So the tractor is 7,294. That's good. Wow, the front loader is 3,288, and the sprayer is, it's actually a very old sprayer, so it's just over £4,000. That was a good sprayer though. That has helped us quite a bit. So yes, into our self-propelled machine. Wheelbase. I think we'll go without. So let's buy that. It's not cheap, definitely not cheap, but it's just good. You can tell it's a much bigger sprayer, but it must be repaired. And that must look so weird. No front wheels. And of course articulating. Ooh, look at the hydraulic rams. It's going to take a bit of getting used to, but I like it. A homemade sprayer. Something like this would have been fantastic for survival roleplay, but of course, no more survival roleplay on FS19. This was only released a few days ago. Okay. Bounce over the tractor. £370 to repair it. We did save 10,000 by buying it used, so yes, it was worthwhile. And we're going to fill it up with liquid fertilizer. I think we're going to be impressed with the working with. Right, so I've gone this way because it's faster. We need to go to our liquid fertilizer fill point. I don't think we have any in IBCs. Just the herbicide. Chickens are producing eggs like mad. They are definitely a good source of income. Okay, so I'm going to fill it to the top. That must be the one for herbicide. Yes, it is. I didn't realise. I thought they were together. This is all about the fertiliser. Right. Okay, so this is going to be expensive. Fertiliser is expensive. £3,840. But yeah, it's a sort of almost one-off payment. It's going to last for a very long time. In fact, I can't really see us refilling that with liquid fertiliser again. With that herbicide, there's something down here. Or was that? Oh, it's fertiliser. Okay. Well, when we've used some, we can top it up. So we'll just get those two logs shifted when we get to them. We'll start over this side. And let's see this spray boom. How big is it? Well, it's 20 metres. I already know that, but how big does that look? Okay, so yeah, it's 5 metres bigger than the previous one. So it's like, I'm guessing, this part here, on both sides, extra. The other spray boom must have ended about here. I'd say it's about 2.5 metres. There, 2.5, yeah, 2.5 each side. Right. Off we go. This looks to be working. Well, it's changing the colour of the soil anyway, which is promising. But as I said, this is not the approach I usually take. Far from it. Yeah, that is working. But it looks like we have some tram lines which already... Yeah, they don't need fertiliser. Okay. Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? I did tram lines in this field. So because the crop was destroyed, it was never harvested, so the ground is still fertile. Just in those specific areas, which is interesting. But there it is. The homemade 185. It's a clever idea. And it seems stable. Yeah, as soon as you see a tractor without its front axle, you think it's not stable, but I actually think this is very, very stable. Interesting. But I know these sort of things have been done in real life. These conversions. I've seen tractors which have been converted into sort of dumper trucks. So you take the front axle off, and then instead of having a sprayer on the back, it would be a big dumper. Clever stuff. Okay, right, well, it's all obviously working perfectly, so I'll continue until the job is done. So I think the best solution for the drilling is to either get a big weeder or to go with those John Deere drills which I had in Series 1. They actually couldn't be replaced because they were just so good. They ticked every box within our price range sort of thing. We couldn't go much bigger because it was just so expensive. They direct drilled and they were a decent size. So yeah, I don't know, shall we get them again? I think I have them enabled, let's just see. He's going to C drills. Okay, I don't think I do then, but yes, it's the ones by ARM modding. Okay, I don't seem to have it, but I can easily get them back in the game. It's the ones where we connected 3 together. You can have them just on their own, or you can have 2, 3. In fact, you can keep going. Keep going into infinity. Right, so they're also pretty cheap as well, so they are good. Since I don't know what to do with drills, we won't drill today, but please do let me know. Shall we stick with our minute one? Shall we go with something completely different, or shall we go with those John Deere ones? But the 185 has done a fantastic job there, really good. And it just happens to be a Massey Ferguson. It wasn't intentional. The fact that it was like if this was a John Deere, like a homemade John Deere setup, I would have still gone with it because it looks good. I'm going for it for the design. Obviously, I am pretty obsessed with Massey Ferguson. But yeah, it was a coincidence. Okay, right, there we go. So it's 3:30. Let's just see. Yeah, fill number 2 is pretty well sorted there. It did fertilise the tram lines. It's now put them to 100% fertilised. They've also been, it's all been ploughed. Lime is an issue. I think we're just going to have to go without. It is, I think, switched off, so I don't know. And we actually seem to have fertiliser already on these 2 fields. Right, so yeah, I think we're going to leave it here for today. We've certainly achieved a few things. done some harvesting, done some subsoiling, and done some spraying, and of course we've bought a new sprayer. But now I need some input. I need to know what to do with the drilling, because the drilling comes next, and I don't know what to do for the best, so please do let me know down below. Very much appreciated. And there we go, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.